Well, I'm joined now by the head of foreign relations for the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan, Ali Naziri. He's speaking to us from an undisclosed location outside of Afghanistan. Great to have you on the program today. Can you, in the first instance, tell us what's the latest situation in the Panjshir Valley? Are your forces able to hold off the Taliban?
We are present throughout Panjshir at the moment. Panjshir is in a small province or valley. Panjshir has many semi-valleys from the southern part up to the northern part of the valley. Right now, the Taliban are only in a few locations. They are facing difficulties. Our forces are resisting. Our forces are defending their people, their honor, their home, and their values. This isn't a resistance that will end with the Taliban entering Panjshir. Panjshir is the lion's nest, and lion's den. Anyone who enters Panjshir will not leave. Any enemy that enters Panjshir will not leave alive.
But it's true, isn't it, that there are a number of key members, key commanders of the NRF that have been either injured or killed in this battle. Fahim Dashti, for instance, reports emerging that he's been killed. What details are you able to give us on this? And can you tell us more about who he was, what he represented for the NRF?
In war, there is always casualties on both sides. This is something normal. We are not going to deny that we've had casualties. Two of my colleagues, Mr. Dashti, who was the spokesperson, and General Zara, who was a formidable military officer who served under the late Commander Massoud as well, and was the nephew of the late Commander Massoud, were martyred tonight. Unfortunately, they were martyred, and however, their spirit is going to be alive, and the people will resist. They will.
So, Mr. Naziri, why are you offering a truce now? Why is and just to jump in there, Mr. Naziri, why are you offering a truce now, given the fact that you're saying that the Taliban have not made the encroachments in the Panjshir Valley as they claim?
We've always extended an olive branch, whether it was 26, 27 years ago when the Taliban movement first formed, whether it was 10 years ago when Burhanuddin Rabbani was the head of the Peace Council and he was assassinated by them, whether it's today. This has always been our legacy because we prefer peace over war. We prefer reconciliation and negotiations over conflict. This has always been valued by us, right, and we will always favor it.
However, Mr. Naziri, the Taliban are unlikely to want to share power with you. Isn't that right? Well, they don't want to bring in non-Taliban members. They don't want to bring in outsiders into the government. That doesn't seem to be on the cards right now. So what kind of compromise or peace-sharing agreement is possible?
Well, they need to read Afghanistan's history. Afghanistan is a country made up of ethnic minorities. One group, one political force cannot dominate the country. What the Taliban are doing today isn't going to bring peace and stability. They've deepened with their operation against Panjshir, with their aggression, they've deepened social cleavages so much in our society that it's irreversible. And we'll see the negative impact inside Afghanistan in the years to come. The Taliban, with their narrative of dominance, will never rule Afghanistan. This isn't the approach to bring peace and stability, and we're completely against this.
So, Mr. Naziri, does that mean that the resistance in the Panjshir Valley, are you saying that that will continue despite the fact that there's been this offer of a truce and that the Taliban say they now control the area?
Of course. Look, from 1979 up to 1992 or 1989 when the Soviets were in the country, the Soviets entered Panjshir 9 times. They launched 9 major offensives. Every time they came into the Panjshir, they left the valley defeated. The Taliban are not as strong as the Red Army. If we were able to manage that in the 1980s, when we were able to defeat our enemies in the 1980s, we're able to defeat the Taliban. Yes, it is going to be a struggle, It is going to be a challenge, but we've overcame these
Right.
challenges before. We'll overcome it in the future.
Ali Naziri, the head of foreign relations for the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan, thank you for joining us on Newsday.